Hello, and welcome back to another session with MDT 888 Spirit Guide. I'm Matty T, okay? So the first thing I want to do is address the name change. A lot of you that have been watching me in the last month since this channel has been started will know that you guys will notice the name change. I originally called this channel what did I call it? Matty T's Twin Flame Guidance. Okay, see, that fast I've forgotten. Maybe it's because it was time for it to change anyway, and maybe that means it's time for some things to change in some of you guys' lives watching this video today. But anyway, I was guided by Spirit to change the name, update it, because with my last weekend reading, it was a reading for the 1212 portal. And let me tell you something, the energy in that reading was mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing to me as the energy reader, sitting here in between the energy that came from the cosmos and you guys, the energy that came from the spirit realm and you guys, the energy that came from the Most High, the source of wisdom, and you guys, okay? So I was guided to change the name of the channel because I think that at some point I may be migrating away from doing just twin flame readings, as you saw with that 1212 portal reading, which was very powerful. If you haven't seen that, go back and take a look at it. It's in the channel lineup, and maybe I'll throw a link in the not description box, but maybe I'll throw a link in the description box or in the comments below the video after this is done. But anyway, MDT 888. 888 is a number of abundance and prosperity, and that is exactly what I want for you all that are walking in purpose for your life, okay? If you're walking in purpose, if you're living your highest timeline, if you're trying to get to your highest timeline, even if you're not there, if you're trying to get to your highest timeline, I wish you all the abundance and prosperity in the world, okay? So every time you open up this channel and look at that 888, that is a communication to you, okay? A communication to remind you that you didn't come here just to work, okay? You came here to experience prosperity, abundance, and joy. So I wanted to change the name up to something that's going to be a little bit more significant, because not everybody's on the twin flame journey, okay? Some of you that watch me are, you're dealing with a high level soulmate or whatever, or some of you are just curious. So that was the reason for the name change. So now I'm going to go ahead and get into today's reading. Now, the format is not going to change much at all, not for the foreseeable future. So on Mondays, we will continue to do readings for the Divine Feminine Collective. On Wednesdays, we will continue to do readings for the Divine Masculine Collective. And then on Fridays, it started off with me doing all signs readings. It may migrate into something else. Like this last Friday, I woke up with the intent to do an all signs reading, and the Spirit guided me to look at the calendar and pay attention to the fact that it was 1212, and that was a very powerful portal. And let me tell you, if you haven't seen that reading, again, go back and watch it. Y'all, I am seeing the changes. I am seeing the changes that are in alignment, that have been in alignment with that reading. So I'm leaving Friday open to Spirit now. Whatever comes out on Friday is what's going to come out. But for the foreseeable future, we're going to continue to do Divine Feminine readings on Mondays and Divine Masculine readings on Wednesdays. Now, and still, nothing changes with the overall reason for which I created this channel, and that is to foster reunion between twin flames and high-level soulmates, okay? Why, Matt? Why foster reunion? Why do you want to help facilitate that? It's because of the powerful, high-frequency light energy that is emitted when divine counterparts that are healed and operating at a high frequency, what the light that is emitted when the two of them come into even close proximity, just to sit with each other, just to walk down the street, okay? It is some high vibrational, high-powered, high frequency energy, and we need that in the earth, okay? So I'm going to continue to foster that until the Most High says, Matt, you don't have to do it anymore. Look outside and see how bright it is, okay? All right, and that day is coming. That day is coming, y'all. Make no mistake about it, okay? Or if you want to be popular and not popular, if you want to be proper and get into your manifestation energy, don't say that day is coming. Say that day is here and that day is now. That's how we do it over here, okay? MDT 888 Spirit Guide with Matty T, okay? I'm your spirit guide. I'm your 888 spirit guide, okay? All right, so now let's get into this. And shout out to those of you out there who are Life Path 8 as well. Hopefully seeing that 888 on the screen will help to activate you. Now, let's get into today's reading. Today, I'm going to be reading from the Light Seers deck, and y'all know the vibes over here. We do single card pulls. By the way, if you're new to the channel, welcome to you, and thank you again for the returning subscribers. I'm watching the subscription numbers continue to go up, so thank you to each and every one of you that are watching me for the first time that love my energy and you hit that subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. Okay, so now, and don't forget to hit the like button. That helps so much, guys. If you like my energy, even though we haven't gotten into the reading yet, please don't forget to hit that like button. I know sometimes when I'm watching different YouTube content creators, I'm so into the content that I forget to hit the like button, and I have to be reminded of it. And sometimes if they don't remind you to hit that like button and you forget it, you've seen the video and they didn't get a like for it even though you liked it. So be sure to hit that like button for your favorite readers. What I do now with my favorite, or not just readers, or content providers, what I do with my favorite content creators right now is when I log onto their video and I see their smiley face, I immediately hit that like button. Even if the reading, if it's a tarot reading or something like that, or a spiritual reading or something, even if it didn't particularly resonate with me, their smile earned the like. Okay, so laugh, okay, laugh. Let's not be so serious. So anyway, y'all, let me get into today's reading. Y'all know the vibes. We pull a single card from whatever tarot deck I'm directed to pull from, and then sometimes I'll get an advice card from the same deck, or I'll use a different deck for the advice card if there's any advice that comes from spirit. Okay, a lot of times I'll tell you what I think, but then I'll pull another card to say, hey, this is the advice that's coming from spirit. And I typically will pull one oracle card. Today, spirit directed me to pull from two decks for you, divine feminines. So I'll be pulling from the Rose Oracle deck as well as the Sacred Medicine Oracle deck. So let's get started. Okay, what messages? First of all, we want to check in on your energy, because what we do pretty much with the divine feminine and divine masculine readings is we check your current energy. We check the energy that's coming from the cosmos, okay? And not the cosmos, but the collective energy. So again, these are general collective readings. If they do not resonate, please do not try to make it fit, okay? It's not your, if you're a size 9 shoe, I don't care how cute the size 7.5 or 8 are. Don't try to squeeze your feet in it, all right? Okay? All right, ladies? Or divine femmes, because you could be a male carrying that divine feminine energy in a twin flame dynamic. I'm starting to see more and more of that, where we see women that are the runners and men who are the chasers. So it could be balanced and we just didn't know it. Okay, we don't know. But anyway, I am going to go ahead and read today's card. It came out, and let's see what is the energy of the divine feminine collective today. King of Cups. Wow, King of Cups in the upright position. Need I say more? Need I say more? Divine feminine, congratulations. You have arrived at emotional balance. When I see that King of Cups, that is somebody who is emotionally balanced. Look at the energy in this card, okay? Look at him. He's cool. He's sitting in the water. Okay, what is that? Is that a sailboat in the background? He's got a sailboat behind him. Look at the light that is emanating from his heart chakra. You see that? You can see the glow around his head. You see the crown. There's a crown above his head. He's been crowned with enlightenment, okay? And he's got a fish around. He's got a necklace with a fish charm hanging from it. The fish, that represents Pisces energy. That's water energy. So you all may be a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio, or you could be connected to a divine masculine that is Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio in Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Venus, Mars, North Node, or even the 7th house. So again, you or your partner, your divine counterpart, whatever high-level soulmate twin flame, could have water in your Sun, your Moon, your rising, your Venus, your Mars, your North Node, or your 7th house. I'll look at the 7th house as well, because that 7th house is like that's a backup Venus sign. The 7th house is ruled by Venus, like the 2nd house is too, but the 2nd house is more that grounded earth energy of materials. That 7th house is the house of partnership, and it is ruled by Venus as well. Okay, ruled by Libra, which is ruled by Venus. So again, you or your divine counterpart, soulmate or twin flame, could be either a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in the Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Venus, Mars, North Node, or 7th house, okay? But what I love about your energy this week, divine feminine, is you are settled. You're settled in your emotions. Any tumultuous feelings you've had are gone. Look at him. He's sitting there. He's got the sound bowl going. That Pisces energy. Y'all know I say Pisces, that fish there. Y'all know that the fish is a symbol of Christianity uses that fish in their symbolism as well. So some of you could be religious, or you could be connected to a divine counterpart that is religious, could be Christian, don't have to be. These are just some possibilities. But what I love about your energy is your emotions are settled And this tells me that, look at him, he's got his eyes closed, he's meditating. A lot of you guys have tapped into your spirituality. Again, another powerful symbolism from this card is look at the radiance coming off that heart chakra. Look at that. So you guys are radiating. A lot of you right now are super magnetic. A lot of you are attracting a lot of people right now. You're attracting a lot of attention. Some of you could be empaths, okay? Remember, and I want to say this to my Divine Feminine Collective, when you are empathic, when you are highly magnetic, and you have those empathic tendencies, especially when you got, water in one of those placements. You could have a water in the 12th house as well. The 12th house is the bridge between the spirit world and the physical world. So you could have water in your 12th house. You could be a 12th house Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio as well. But the thing I want you guys to keep in mind is when you have reached that level of inner balance where you have balanced your emotions with the ego and you are settled, you're calm emotionally, you have good control, that king energy over your emotions and your heart chakra, you radiate. You radiate. You go out, you literally go out. It does not matter what you have on. You could, ladies, for my ladies watching, you could just pull your hair back in a ponytail, put a little bit of lip gloss on, and just throw a hoodie on and some sweats and some dusty looking Chuck Taylors or some Pro-Keds or whatever your sneaker of choice is, some Air Force Ones, and just run out to the grocery store. But you are so magnetic. What is making you magnetic is that energy right there, that King of Cups energy, being settled in your emotions. You're not wanting, you're not in that. A lot of you were in that chaser energy for a long time. You are no longer chasing, but you're also not running. This is a settled individual. He says, hey, you know what? I got my emotions balanced. I got them under control. Look at the fish that are coming near him. When you are highly magnetic, the animals don't run away from you. They gravitate towards you. He's got a starfish near him. He's got a fish swimming by him. He's got his finger in that sound bowl there. So he's working on, some of you guys might be listening to chakra balancing frequencies, but you guys are settled in your emotions. And that King of Cups, he knows how to give love. But not only does he know how to give love to others, he knows how to give love to himself. That is the beauty of that. That is what makes you guys are settled in your emotions. I love that energy for you right now. I don't think I need to pull an advice card. I don't think, and no, I'm not being directed to pull an advice card. So I don't need to pull an advice card for you guys. That is like the top of the food chain. You guys are there. You've done the work. You have done the inner work. You're out of that chaser energy. You are settled. Look what happens there. Again, I told you when you're radiating powerfully like that from your heart chakra. Look at the tuning there. He is in tune with that crown chakra. Look at the crown. He's receiving, a lot of you are receiving messages from spirit. A lot of you have your perception, your spiritual perception with that third eye chakra is in tune, and you're glowing there, and that heart chakra is radiating love. So you know how to give love to others, but you know how to give love to yourself. I love this energy for you because a lot of you divine feminines watching, you were in that energy of, I don't want to deal with my divine masculine anymore. I'm over this. I'm over that connection. And that's not King of Cups energy. That's kind of Queen of Swords energy a little bit. That's kind of Queen of Swords. I'm not necessarily open to talking, but I will talk. I will listen. If you come correct, we can have a conversation. If you don't come correct, then you're going to get the sword. That's Queen of Swords energy. But that King of Cups energy, that King of Cups is like, I'm stable. I'm settled. I'm focusing on spiritual matters. I'm focusing on continuing to radiate, to keep my energy balanced, to keep my chakras balanced. And you guys are radiating. But again, I got away from my point earlier. When you are an empath and you are radiating that powerfully, be careful because a lot of times you will attract unhealed people. You got to keep in mind when you have that empath, those empathic natures or that empathic ability, what a lot of times that narcissist is drawn to you so that they can be healed. Okay. And it's not your job to heal them, but the interaction and the way that they see you operating that self-love and that I'm not putting up nobody's bull energy. I'm not here for it. A lot of times it will snap them out of those narcissistic tendencies. And what you're doing in effect is holding up the mirror so that they can see themselves, okay? I'm not going to hold up the King of Cups card here because they're not Kings of Cups. But be careful and do not be surprised if you attract people that need healing, okay? Your job is not to heal them. Your job is to operate in your authenticity. When you are authentic, you teach that narcissist how to behave. And that's why that narcissist empath dynamic is so real. That narcissist teaches that empath how to have self-love and how to put up boundaries. Not walls, boundaries. Walls are different because walls block energy. And some of you watching might say, well, it's good to block energy. But you got to remember, when you erect walls, nothing can get out and nothing can get in. So while you're keeping things out, you're also keeping things in that perhaps you got to have that energy flow open. Okay. Putting up walls is not King of Cups. That King of Cups is stable in his emotions. They have boundaries. That's called having emotional boundaries. So the difference is with boundaries, you got a sentinel at that boundary line watching. And when somebody approaches the boundary, that sentinel simply says, state your name and your business. Who are you and what are you here for? Okay. If it is a proper purpose, then they're allowed to enter. If it is improper, they're turned around at that boundary. But that boundary still allows energy to flow. So that's for somebody, okay? I love this King of Cups energy for you guys. This is beautiful beautiful for you. Not only is it beautiful for you, but it is also beautiful for your connection, okay? Remember, we're here to help foster these unions. So the more you guys sit in this King of Cups energy, the more you're going to not only attract, I mean, again, and that's not the norm. I mean, some people have certain energies inside of them and they were assigned to attract certain low vibrational energies so they could get that work. And I don't mean get that work in a negative way, but they need to get that work because the Most High sent them in your path for them to remember. And a lot of you, especially those of you with Capricorn placements, Capricorns are the arbiters of karma. So if you have a Capricorn sun, moon, rising, Mercury, Venus, or Mars, or North Node, okay, or seventh house too. And in this particular instance, I think Jupiter too, because that means you're gifted in that ability. But when you have Capricorn in those major placements, you are an arbiter of karma, okay? The Most High sends you into people's lives to either help them through their karma or help them get their karma. So don't be surprised if you attract some energies that are not so favorable. Just operate in the energy of authenticity. That's one of the things I say on my other channel. At the end of every live stream, at the end of every video, I say the same thing. I say the only way you are going to arrive at your destiny is by operating in the energy of 100% authenticity. Okay? Your destiny has your name on it. It has your frequency attached to it. Nobody can have your destiny. That's why you'll never hear me talk about destiny swapping. Nobody can swap destinies with you. To suggest that someone could swap destinies with you would suggest that somebody has the ability to trick the divine. That's never going to happen, okay? The only thing a third party or an external energy can do is perhaps help you to delay your destiny, but they can't have it. What's yours is yours, and what's not yours, it's not yours. If it's yours, you can't lose it. If it's not yours, you can't have it. So there's no such thing as destiny swapping. You'll never hear me say that on this channel because it simply is not possible. Okay, but it can be delayed. And the only way your destiny is delayed is by you're not operating in the energy of 100% authenticity. Okay, so if you should attract an energy that is not, savory to you, authenticity will help correct that energy and help make sure that you do not fall victim to anybody's traps. Okay, so keep that in mind, Divine Feminine, this week as you go forward in this beautiful King of Cups energy. I love that for y'all. I mean, that to me, some people say the Queen of Cups is the essence of divine feminine energy. Truth be told, I think the Empress and the High Priestess are the epitomes of divine feminine energy, because the Empress embodies all of the energies of the queens in all of the queens. Okay, all of the suites or suits of queens. That's the Empress. And I'm saying emperor because some of you have aligned your inner divine emperor and empress, okay? I say inner divine emperor. I meant inner divine masculine and divine feminine. But you have also aligned that empress and that emperor. Everybody has masculine and feminine energy. This right here, this tells me the imagery here is an imagery of balance. Why do you say that, Matt? Because cups is water and that's feminine energy. But in his image here is a man, okay? So that shows me the balance between masculine and feminine energy that is the King of Cups. That is the King of Cups, okay? Kings, that's masculine energy. Cups is feminine energy. Look at him. He's very masculine, but he's very, very resolved. Very resolved, very balanced, very poised. That's where y'all are at right now. And I'm happy. I'm so happy for y'all. Let me get some Oracle card advice for you guys. I'm going to move off of that because I could stay in this energy. I could stay with this energy all day. It is beautiful, y'all. I'm so happy for y'all. Congratulations. This tells me, this card right here tells me that you all have done the work. You've done the work. You've done the inner work. You are balanced. You're settled, okay? A lot of you are ready for union right now. A lot of you are ready for it, but the beauty is you're no longer seeking it. All you're seeking is, or what you sought is balance, and guess what? You're there now. And now you are maintaining it. That is a balance. This card represents a balance of masculine and feminine emotional energy. It don't get any better than that. It does not get any better than that. And again, this also represents, again, some of you may be masculines that are holders of the divine feminine archetype in your connection. Or some of you may be watching for men that have a good grip on their inner divine feminine energy, okay? Manly men. Look at that. I'm going to leave that alone. All right, that's for somebody. Let's move on to the Oracle card advice. I have two Oracle decks. The Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. Y'all know that's one of my favorites. And the Sacred Medicine Oracle by Asha Frost, okay? Or Asha. Still don't know how that. I'm going to say Asha. Asha Frost. I don't know the correct pronunciation of it. But anyway, Spirit is directing me to pull from the bottom of the deck today. So I'm just going to pick these decks up. I haven't even shuffled them, y'all. I have not even shuffled these. I just pulled them out of the box. So I'm just going to pick the deck up, go right to the bottom. So the Oracle card today, the Rose Oracle, is the Thorn. Protection, boundaries, and clear communication. Oh my God, what was I just talking about? Boundaries. I was just talking about boundaries. Saying boundaries, not walls. That's very important, y'all. When you put up walls, you are blocking others from accessing you, but you're also blocking out perhaps any blessings from coming in because they can't get over that wall or through that wall. Now, that's not to say that you don't block crazy energy, because I've done that. That overt narcissist, after I dealt with them, they're blocked. They no longer have access to me. So remember, I saw this on somebody else's channel and it rings true. I've seen it on YouTube, and I've also seen it in memes. I've seen it in Instagram Reels. I've seen it on TikTok. The same message. It is poor spiritual hygiene to give everybody access to you. Everybody does not deserve access to you. Okay? If you give access to somebody and they abuse it, then they've told you that they're not worthy of that access. Self-worth. Self-worth. The King of Cups knows his self-worth. The King of Cups knows his self-worth. All right, divine feminines. Let's read from this Rose Oracle book for the Thorn. Protection, boundaries, and clear communication. And I'm not going to let y'all suffer through me trying to squint and see this fine print. So I'm going to put my readers on here. And I probably need some new ones because these are kind of, y'all know, if you go into the dollar store or whatever, get some cheapos, try to get something to look good. There's no reason to spend an arm and a leg on a pair of readers, okay? Because they're not like prescriptions, which I don't need. The Thorn, all right? Let's see what the book says about the Thorn. And again, if y'all haven't seen it, there'll be a link in the description box or the comments to that 1212 portal reading. You guys jump in on that energy. That energy is still out there. Today is Monday, December the 15th, 2025. That energy is still out there. Y'all watch that video, okay? And share it, please do. The Thorn, protection, boundaries, and clear communication. The rose is the queen of all flowers. Her soft and often fragrant bloom takes our breath away from near and far. I love the way roses smell. A bridge between heaven and earth. I just talked about that 12th house, y'all. A bridge between heaven and earth. She has the capacity to act as a portal to our true selves and call our soul more fully into our body. She leaves us in awe, allowing us to experience heaven on earth for a very precious moment. But the rose is not all gentle and soft. In fact, most roses are armored with spiky thorns and prickles of various shapes and sizes. These sharp protectors act like knights defending their queen, clearly setting the necessary boundary and conditions for her to do what she was born to do. What did I just talk about? You can't make this stuff up. We too are like the rose. So often, we don't get taught how important clear communication and loving boundaries are to our relationships. When we're not clear on our needs, we don't communicate them. When we do not take responsibility for them, it is impossible for others to give us what we need. This often results in a breakdown in the relationship. Communicating our needs and establishing our boundaries allows not just us to feel safe, but those we're in a relationship with to feel safe too. This card delivers the message of the importance of clear communication, boundaries, and taking responsibility for our needs. To be clear with others, we must first be clear with ourselves, and then communicate this to our loved ones and the world. So the soul inquiry today is, what loving boundaries are you being called to establish? How are you being called to communicate clearly to those you are in a relationship with? All right. That was the thorn from Rebecca Campbell's Rose Oracle deck. All right. I hope that message applies to someone. I'm going to moisturize mis bocas. Un minuto. Lo siento. For those of y'all that speak Spanish, I learned in high school years ago. I was took 3 years of Spanish in high school, and then I took a number of years of street Spanish in New York and in the Army, okay? And now I just kind of keep sharp using Duolingo. So am I fluent enough to fully understand a person that doesn't speak English at all? Not if they're talking muy rápido, okay? But I can work my way through the conversation and get the message. What is it you're trying to convey? So anyway, some of y'all might be on that Duolingo. Check it out if you haven't. That's a great app, and I'm not being paid to say that. It is a great learning app, okay? So at the bottom of the Sacred Medicine Oracle deck is the Winged One, Trust, number 26, okay? That number might be significant to somebody. Okay, somebody might have a birthday on the 6th of February or the 2nd of June, or somebody might have someone might have a birthday that is the 26th day of any month, or someone might have a birthday that is on the 8th day of any month, or have a birthday in the 8th month of the year, which would be August, okay? Or somebody might also be a life path 8, okay? All right, that could be you, that could be your divine counterpart, twin flame, soulmate, whatever. Okay. So let's read this number 26 Winged One card that says trust. All right. Trust seems to go with boundaries too, right? When you trust your boundaries, you're not worried about anybody hurting you. So you don't need a wall. Just put that out there for somebody. 26. I love the Sacred Medicine Oracle deck, y'all. I really do. And I can put a link in the comments or in the description box for anybody that's interested in picking that deck up from Amazon. It's not mine, but I'll send a link to it. Okay? Pardon me, y'all. Okay, here we go. Winged One. Y'all see how y'all just noticed something? When I was reading from the Rose Oracle deck, I was looking over here, holding it in my left hand. And now I'm reading this Winged One from the Sacred Medicine Oracle deck, and I'm holding it in my right hand and looking to my right. That's yin yang energy. So some of y'all are definitely dealing with a twin flame divine counterpart or a soulmate divine counterpart. Let me say this really quick before I read. Some people get so caught up in the twin flame journey, and they don't, even people outside of it, when they hear it, they think it's something to aspire to. But when you read my book, Twin Flames, Understanding and Solving the Problem of the Avoidant Dismissive Divine Masculine, one of the things that I spotlight and highlight in that book is that the twin flame journey can be so tumultuous and so many ups and downs. And I don't mean tumult like abuse. If it's abusive, it's not twin flames. Why? Because twin flames are mirror souls. They are one in the same, just in two different bodies, okay? You got a masculine here and a feminine there, but they're the same soul, okay? So in the same way that you would never be abusive to yourself, unless you've got, some sort of disorder, and I'm not talking about anybody, but in the same token that you would never be never be, abusive to yourself, your divine counterpart's not going to be abusive to you. They might do things that hurt, but don't we do things that hurt ourselves? Don't we make decisions that we say, you know what, I wish I hadn't done that. So, but that's not, that is far removed from being abusive. You make a bad decision, you turn left when you should have turned right, and you end up getting a flat tire going left. You're like, man, wish I had gone right. But the truth of the matter is, even when you turn left and get that flat tire, you don't know what you were being protected from had you gone to the right. So anyway, just to summarize that before I read from this book, if you are in an abusive situation, that is not a twin flame situation, because twin flames are single soul, different bodies. Nobody's going to abuse themselves if they are all there, if you know what I mean, okay? So that's not a twin. If it's abusive, it's not a twin. If it's painful, then there's growth in pain. right? It could be painful because, ghosting or whatever. Y'all know there's some of the things that divine feminists go through. Oh man, he's not talking to me, or, he's not returning my text or my phone calls, or all I get back is breadcrumbs. I'll have a whole conversation and it's like one word, thanks, or whatever. The things that you're like, but a lot of y'all have tried to take a positive to the high road and say, well, at least they spoke back to me or whatever. But anyway, those things early on before you arrive at this King of Cups energy, okay, those things are painful until you arrive at that King of Cups energy, and then that stuff doesn't bother you anymore because you've been through it. So anyway, I don't know why I went down that side road, but for those of y'all that came over from my Matt D. Talford channel, you know that I'm likely on every road trip or every visit to the house to take you all the way around the block just to get you to the house next door. That's just what I do. I'm a storyteller. So now, number 26 card from the Sacred Medicine Oracle deck is the Winged One, and the caption is Trust. In our sacred prayers, we often call on the four-legged, two-legged, winged ones, swimmers, crawlers, plant people, and rock people. The winged ones are an important part of creation. Watching the winged ones in nature is a glorious experience. I'm assuming it's talking about butterflies and birds, for example. As babies, we see their parents gather food and nesting materials, and we see them take their first leaps of faith as they learn to fly. When we see them soar, we learn the power of leaning into and harnessing the wind that can carry us. There is so much wisdom and beauty that they carry. The winged ones trust that they will be taken care of. Some travel for thousands of miles in their migration patterns, knowing that they will find the nectar to feed their bellies. Others trust that shelter will be there when the rain comes. This is a call for you to trust This is a call for you to trust that all of creation has your back. This is a call for you to trust that all of creation has your back. You are fully and deeply supported. Just like the baby birds leave their nest and leap into the unknown, you too are held by the earth, the land, the wind, and the trees. I'm going to pause there for a second because it says, just like the baby birds leave their nest and leap into the unknown. For those of y'all that saw that 12/12 portal reading, you know that one of the cards that came out was the Fool. The Fool is about trusting, and then jumping into the unknown. That's Fool card energy, okay? If y'all saw that 12/12 portal reading, you can see the alignment between that and how this is perhaps a continuation. Y'all, please go watch that 12/12 portal reading. It was so beautiful. Watch it, and then if you agree with it or you're aligned with it, claim that energy. You can still claim that. That's a timeless reading. Even though it happened during that 12/12 portal, the beauty of things like energy readings that we see with tarot and oracle card readings and such is that they are timeless. So if you want to capture a 12/12 portal reading in March of next year, simply by watching that 12/12 portal reading, you are transported back into time in order to be able to collect that energy. It's beautiful, y'all. That is how these things work. Spirituality is, what does the Bible say? The Bible says in John 4:24, and that's the scripture that is in the caption of my new name change for this channel. It says, God is a spirit, and they that worship must worship in spirit and truth. Spirit has no time to it. You are a timeless being watching this, okay? I hear the terms new souls and old souls. I think that refers to the amount of lifetimes you may have spent in this particular realm. But you are timeless, and you come from the realm of timelessness, all right? Let me get back to that. Y'all go and watch that reading. I'm going to read this again, and I'll start at that paragraph again, and we'll wrap up. The winged ones trust that they will be taken care of. Some travel for thousands of miles in their migration patterns, knowing that they will find the nectar to feed their bellies. Others trust that shelter will be there when the rain comes. This is a call for you to trust all of creation has your back. You are fully and deeply supported. Just like the baby birds leave their nest and leap into the unknown, you too are held by the earth, the land, the wind, and the trees. The winged ones are here offering you sweetness and courage, nourishment and support. They offer you powerful flapping and flutter energy to honor your forward movement. It's time to lean in and to trust. And the sacred ceremony, y'all know the sacred ceremony from this book. I say that you can put your hand over your heart and say this, but whatever you wish to do is yours, okay? A creature with sacred ceremony. Sacred ceremonies is for you to imagine, okay? I got that mixed up with something else. The affirmation. I'm going to do that at the end. But the sacred ceremony, whenever I'm reading the sacred ceremony from this deck, this is for you to imagine that setting, okay? Here we go. Sacred ceremony. A creature with fast-moving wings lands in your hands today. You can feel the dynamic fluttering of their energy moving up your hands and into the rest of your body. They begin to activate every cell, tissue, and organ with the medicine of trust and internal safety. Allow lightness to fill you as you lay down the energies that are no longer supportive. It is safe to fly free towards your desires. This is your birthright, and it is time to delight in this truth. Okay? Now, a lot of you, when you heard this part about the winged one with rapidly or fast-moving wings landing in your hands, a lot of you, when you heard that, the first thing you thought about is a hummingbird. So that's for somebody. I want somebody to go and look up the spiritual significance of hummingbirds, because not everybody sees them. So when you see a hummingbird, you probably want to stop and think about what was going through my mind at the moment that I saw that hummingbird, because they're messengers too. So somebody go and look up the spiritual significance of hummingbird. And if you care to, leave that meaning in the comments for the other people that didn't have time to check into it. Okay? Now, here's your healing affirmation. You can place your hand over your heart and say this. I am moving through fear, and when my energy is aligned, I fly forward. I am moving through fear. You're moving through it. You're not letting it stop you. I am moving through fear, and when my energy is aligned, I fly forward. How much more beautiful, or how more beautiful can you end this reading today, y'all? Divine Feminine. All right? How more beautifully can you end that reading? Okay? It says, when I'm aligned, when my energy is aligned, I fly forward. Is that not the aligned energy? This King of Cups has his chakras balanced. He's got his chakras balanced, but that heart chakra, look at the radiance, okay? That heart, and here's the beauty of this artwork, y'all. When you look at it, you cannot tell the direction in which those rays are going. They're going both outward and in. Outward and in. No D on the end. Outward and in. So, when your heart chakra is aligned, not only do you radiate powerful heart chakra energy, but you magnetize to you the desires of your heart. And this says, in the healing affirmation, I am moving through fear, and when my energy is aligned, I fly forward. He's radiating love, and he's also attracting high vibrational energy. Look at the fish coming toward him. Starfish. Look at the sailboat sitting comfortably and calmly on the waters behind him. That's beautiful, y'all. He seems to be floating above the water, too. That is called balance. Y'all remember the scene where the Messiah said, Peter, come toward me. Or he said, Peter, come on out here. And Peter said, if that's you, bid me to come. The Messiah was walking on the water. You know what that imagery represents? It represents balance. He's not floating up. He's also not sinking. He's walking on the surface of the water. That is symbolic of someone who is emotionally balanced. And I think that's something we can all strive for. That's all I got for you all this week. Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button on this reading. Claim this reading, claim it in the comments. And be sure to subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed already, all right? To continue to get these high vibrational energy readings. That's all I got for you today, Divine Feminine. From your boy MDT, aka Matty T. I love y'all so much. Tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You have to show it, okay? And remember, authenticity is what is going to magnetize your destiny toward you. That's all I got, y'all. Peace.